Hello everyone, Reversal here, and welcome to my first impressions review of Pokémon Scarlet. I'm not going to show you too much gameplay because that might be considered spoilers, so I'm going to keep it as spoiler-free as I possibly can. But I want to give you guys my general thoughts and opinions about this game and the experience so far. So first things first, there's been a lot of reviews as far as performance concerned and graphics concerned. And I'd like to add onto that with my own experience playing this game. So what I do notice is that, for example, when it starts raining in Pokemon Scarlet, I'm playing Scarlet version by the way, so Violet version might be a little bit different. In Pokemon Scarlet version, when it starts raining, you do see the frame drop rates, slow down a little bit here and there. And I don't really think that's too much of an issue, but it is noticeable. I've had one instance where I was doing whatever in the game, and I just got one straight hiccup. And for like a second and a half, there was just nothing happening. It was a freeze frame, and then the game continued. So hopefully there is going to be an update to the game which will allow for you to actually not have any of these issues, where it runs a little bit more smooth. I think they can like work that out with software updates to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that's like, I think the biggest concern with people, like, does it run smoothly? For the most part, yeah. But sometimes it's not really gonna run that smoothly. So yeah, that's one thing that I think is pretty important to take note of. For people that are shiny hunting in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I have some information on that as well. I've currently played for 9 hours. I've been exploring a whole lot. And unfortunately, I've not found a single shiny yet. What is fun though is kind of like roaming around like this and trying to find stuff. And I think I've found a lot of encounters, but none of them have been shiny yet. So shinies don't seem to be popping up that easily at the start of the game. You might end up being luckier than I am. I've found probably over 1,000 Pokemon by now, just not found a shiny yet. So maybe that's going to be happening over time. However, what I want to let you know about is that there is no indicator whatsoever to find a shiny. So there's no sound alert like in Pokemon Legends Arceus. There's no visual cue. So hopefully, again, that will be fixed with a update, because it's very unfortunate for people that are colorblind that they don't got any sort of indicator for that. So hopefully, Game Freak, if you're watching this, please implement that. That would be very, very nice. A little complaint that I'm having with the game is how I don't really necessarily like that you cannot set anything to set mode. So you cannot really like skip the battles, you cannot skip animations, something like that. If it becomes redundant in any way, shape or form, you cannot skip any of that stuff, and that might be a little problematic for people in case you don't like seeing the animations. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, and that is once again something to just, it has the capability of being fixed with a single update as well. So as far as that concerned, those are the little things that, and speaking of rain, it's just started raining right now. So we'll be able to see how much it handles here. And so far it looks pretty smooth, but the moment you kind of start like running around and stuff, you do see it dropping frames a little bit. But I mean, it is very playable still, and I don't think it's that bad. I got a little hiccup here and there, but yeah, that's about it really. And overall, I think the game is absolutely gorgeous. You really get lost in the map of Paldea. It took me over 6 hours to even get my first gym badge. I actually have it written down. My first gym battle was 8 hours into my playthrough. Just an hour ago, I decided like, oh, I really need to focus on the main storyline because I'm just getting so lost with exploring. And then you're seeing little beams popping up like over there in the distance. You got a little beam and you're like, oh, I want to see what that is. And then you got these crystals over here and you're like, I want to check that out. And yeah, as a result, you just kind of really get lost in what you want to do. And you just want to explore. And you're like, oh, there's a Pokemon here. And there's a Pokemon there. And in the time I've been playing, I right now got 90 Pokedex entries. So they kind of come in quick. But I actually haven't really noticed it being much of a grind, much of anything. It's been a lot of fun to play around. I feel I've only just kind of scratched the surface in Pokemon Legends Arceus. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I think there's so much more to explore, so much to enjoy. I do feel that maybe on the multiplayer side of things, I do have a little bit of a concern whether or not it's going to be laggy. given that already in the overworld, with rain specifically, when you're dashing about, sometimes you got these performance drops, so I'm not sure how that's going to be if you're connecting online. So I do have my worries there. But other than that, for a single player experience, I can definitely recommend anybody who's into Pokemon or think that the game looks good to pick it up. I think it's going to be a great addition. I think it's a great follow-up to Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it definitely mixes a couple of the things very well together. A couple of the things that I really enjoy about this game is that the items in the overworld are highlighted by little beams that you can just see and walk to. And I think one of the biggest quality of life updates is that you just pick up the item and there is not a jingle or anything like that. The game's like, you got the item, the first time it pops up at the bottom of the screen, you see a little indicator like, hey, you picked up the item, this is what it does, but it doesn't make a big deal out of it. You can just keep on going and it's very seamless, which I very much like. So that's a really great thing. Another really great aspect is that you can actually auto-heal your Pokemon. I think that's a major one. So for example, over here, you just press the minus button and that's a screenshot. Boom, it just heals up everything and it orders it by the items that you are having from the most like the regular potions all the way up to hyper potions in that order. And I think that is probably one of the biggest, most notable changes that have been made within Pokemon as far as just quality of life upgrades. And I think that is generally really awesome. The mini-map and finding Pokemon on the mini-map has been quite frustrating. So if you see Pokemon on the mini-map, I want you to keep in mind that what it's indicating is that the Pokemon will be spawning in that general area and they're not gonna be specifically at that spot. And it took me a little bit to get used to, but it is something you gotta have to keep in mind if you're playing that game. So sometimes you see Pokemon appearing on nearby on the map or something like that, but you're constantly like swapping around. You're like, wait, is that Pokemon there? And you end up looking for that Pokemon for quite a while because it's not in that direct area. It's like around that particular area. So make sure you keep that in mind. A thing that's really cool is, for example, if I go into a battle here, one of my favorite things as far as user interface concerned is that if you press the X button, you got this really clean interface right here with these Pokeballs as far as selecting. It's not a big change or anything like that by any means, but I really love that. I just love that. It's a great user interface, and I think that is a big upgrade from previous Pokemon games. And another thing that's actually quite nice is if you press left on the D-pad, you got instant access to the ability to change your outfits and stuff. But another point of critique on this part is it is really slow. Like the interfaces when you go to your boxes to deposit your Pokemon, it feels a little bit on the slower side of things. So once again, I hope that will be fixed in the future. But it's just really kind of cool that you can like change your look just on the fly. And you don't actually have to go to a boutique. You can even change your eye shapes and everything like that if you want to do that. You could just do that right here, right now. And I think that's really quite cool that they have done that. So yeah, that's kind of like a general overview of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think if you get lost in the game and you're exploring around, there is this sense of you get to over-level yourself. Because 8 hours into the game, I started doing the gym battles and I just kind of steamrolled them really easily. So it's kind of hard to determine exactly when or where you should be going to a particular area, because you might end up being really over-leveled or really under-leveled. There's no real indicator as to, hey, you need to be here right now. It's literally like, just do whatever you want, and then you'll see where stuff is going to be ending. So I think the game is worth it. I think it's worth a pickup. I'm going to obviously shine you on the whole lot over in my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Reversal. And we're going to be posting up a bunch of little guide videos in the coming days as well. But I just wanted to bring you this little first impressions video with the Twitch chat first for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely share it around and give it a like if you if this video helped you out in any way, shape or form, and let me know in the comments what has been your favorite part about it, and subscribe for more Scarlet and Violet videos. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great launch if you're going to be playing, and a great day if you're going to do something else. Bye-bye.